Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome to Hades. Some of you probably always knew it'd be my voice you'd hear saying that. This is an action roguelite from Supergiant Games, makers of Pyre, one of my favorite games of all time, and also some little indie titles nobody's ever heard of, like Transistor and Bastion. We checked this game out when it first came into early access back in February, and it was cool, it was a compelling experience, but it was clear that there was not a lot of game in there yet. My understanding is that with their Big Bad update, they have completed the structure of the game, we can now get to an ending, and so I thought this would be a good time to dip back in and check it out, see what it has become. I mean, actually, I thought that in August, when the Big Bad update came out, and we're just now finding room for it on the schedule. So actually, we're pretty close to the next major update. I don't know how long this series is going to be. It's probably not going to be a super long one. We're not going to see everything that's in the game or master it or anything. But we'll dig in here, we'll play around with it, we'll see what it becomes in 8 days, and we'll just have some fun. So let me overwrite one of these things that I just created here.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Goodbye, Father.
So the structure of this is going to be pretty familiar to those of you who play a lot of action-y roguelites. We're going to progress through a bunch of rooms till we get to a boss. We're going to defeat the boss. We're going to go down to the next biome. Right now, we have a sword. It's a pretty simple weapon. You just got a little little attack combo here, little AoE special attack. We also have our cast. It's our only ranged attack. It's a magic spell that unfortunately we have to go over and pick up after we fire it. If we shoot it at an enemy, it will get stuck in them until we kill them. So we're not very good at fighting at ranged, and we're actually pretty fragile. There's not a lot of healing in the game. Damage is relatively permanent, so it's pretty important that we keep combat under control here. Fortunately, a lot of the enemies are slow and telegraph their attacks very clearly, and also generally speaking, our attacks stun lock enemies. Like you can see, these guys can't do anything while I'm hitting them. And we can bash them around, we can knock them into walls, we can knock them into these pillars and make pieces of the roof fall on them. Things will be pretty easy here at the start. Oh, and of course you have your ubiquitous dodge, dash, slash roll maneuver. At the very start, it just seems to be, you know, another one of these, although it does have that Supergiant visual and audio polish, which is always very impressive.
There she is.
Alright, and sometimes when we complete a room, we'll receive a little contact from one of the gods up on Olympus.
It's got to be her. Then here goes nothing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin. Now, let's get you from that miserable place. I'll see that all of us upon Olympus do our part, beginning here with me.
That is a mighty ponytail. I mean, that's a crazy amount of hair. Is it weirder if it's hair, or if it's, like, part of her hat just pretending to be? I don't know, it's a very strange look. So when we talk to a god, they'll give us a boon. We'll get a choice of boons here. Our attack is way stronger and can bounce enemies' ranged attacks. I'm pretty sure deflect only affects ranged attacks. I don't think you can make enemies punch themselves. Your cast has an AoE and can deflect, or your dash deals damage and can deflect. Why don't we take this? This is a pretty significant damage increase. We hit people with our sword way more often than we cast at them.
Thank you, goddess. Your power fused with mine. This should be good.
And then we can bounce enemies' ranged attacks back at them like Link. Okay, really, really great start. See, the attacks are big and slow so that you can have plenty of time to predict them and not get hit by them in embarrassing ways. Oh yeah, there's traps and stuff too. Unfortunately, I'm not quite as young as I used to be. I've definitely slowed down over the years. There's going to be an embarrassing death or two as we kind of get back in the swing of things here. Also, there's a little bit of auto-aim on the cast, apparently, because I definitely missed that guy, but the game gave it to me anyway.
Wonder where I can use this.
Alright, we got ourselves a big key. So it's worth looking around the rooms after you complete them. First of all, I mean, the art is gorgeous and it's nice to just take a second and look at it. But secondly, sometimes there's additional loot. And then every time we go to proceed into a new room, the icon on the door will show us what we can expect as a reward. Here, we're going to get another blessing from Athena. I don't actually know all of the god's symbols yet, but I'm sure we'll learn them pretty quickly. Oh, right, I have a melee attack that can deflect their projectiles. We should probably actually use that. Like this. Yeah, it's like having a lightsaber. So Zagreus, I don't know a ton about Greek and Roman mythology, if I'm being honest. I think Zagreus is the son of Persephone and Hades. Like from that story where Persephone ate the 6 pomegranate seeds and...
Olympus, I accept this message.
Ooh, okay. Sometimes when we get a choice of boons, there are different rarities the boons can be. Sometimes you'll see rares or epics. Death Defiance makes you impervious longer. So Death Defiance... Here's the thing. Gain 1 charge now. So this'll give us an extra life, basically. It's pretty hard to not take that. Your special is stronger and can deflect. That's the AoE attack that I never remember to use. Your attacks that deflect also expose foes. I think we're going to take the extra life, honestly.
Strength of the goddess.
Maybe I'd be better off focusing on making myself better at fighting, but I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in an embarrassing way, probably sooner than I would like, so let's just prepare for that, shall we? I really feel like the game's taking it pretty easy on us here by spawning these skulls all one at a time like that. Apparently stuff has been happening over here while we were not paying attention. So you can see sometimes when we hit the supports, the pillars and stuff, it'll knock parts of the ceiling down on enemies. Ah, yeah, okay, here we go. Here's the first big mechanic. Also, we are totally deflecting that guy's melee attack with our melee attack, so I was wrong about that.
Will that be all?
Those enemies with the yellow health bar do not get stunned when you hit them.
Nice. Each exit has its own reward.
Does make things a little bit more complicated. I believe this is a shop, and we don't really have that much money yet, so let's go this way.
Louts.
Yeah, actually, we're getting a lot of value out of our melee attack, preventing their attack from occurring. We made a good choice on that first boon. So you can see the big panels on the floor, triggering various types of traps. Sometimes you can bait the enemies into the traps like that. A lot of the time, they just move too fast, unfortunately.
That'll keep me going for a bit.
Yeah, that's good. Just eat an entire heart. So another buff from Athena or some money. This one, the little skull here, as you might imagine if you've ever played a video game before, denotes that there's going to be a boss fight in that direction. I mean, we're not rich, but I think you might get better boons after boss fights. Let's go find out. That's a thing we can verify. It's going to be like a mini-boss, not a real boss. Ah, yeah, I remember these guys. Ow. Well, that's a pretty bad start. This is good boss music, though. Come here, you. Stop being such a coward. We could probably hit the bombs back at them. Where's my cast? Where did I leave my bullet? This is probably an easier fight if you have one of the ranged weapons. There's a variety of weapons that we're going to unlock over time here. Sword, in my opinion, and again, this is based on information that is like 7 months old at this point. I remember the sword being the worst weapon by a pretty large margin. I can almost hit him. My cast is over there. Eventually it does just magnet back to us, I believe. Oh, if we can get them to step on the panels on their platforms, it seems like they, Actually, can I can just dash over there. I forgot about the traversal aspect of the dash.
In the name of Hades.
Well, that's a thing we won't forget again. Okay, yeah, it seems like you get increased rarity of boons from fighting a boss. So dash deals way more damage than the last time we saw this and can deflect, resist traps, or... This is interesting. For 5 seconds, double damage if you hit the enemy from behind. That's a little awkward, I guess, because they're shooting at you. If they're shooting at you, they're probably facing you, so you have to bounce it back at them and then run around. That's probably unrealistic. Let's take Divine Dash.
Athena's power.
Alright, do we want a key or some purple stuff? So purple stuff is one of the upgrade currencies. The key is the other. I think we want keys early on here. The keys are how we're going to get access to the rest of the weapons.
You wretches.
I think this guy's attacking faster than the other ones. I don't seem to be able to get as much of my combo off. I'm trying to draw him into the trap. Oh, he's too smart for me. Alright, as soon as you get past the yellow health bar, though, they become just normal stunnable enemies like everybody else. And you saw it even works that way on the mini-bosses. Thought I'd try to weave in the special, but unfortunately, apparently our combo pushes them back too far for that.
One for the stash.
Okay, I should remember to do the thing I said to do and look around. So what we're looking for is sometimes there will be little altars where we can make offerings to gain stuff. Sometimes there will be golden pots in the room that'll be full of money.
We have an intruder.
Uh-oh. Seems like Dad's angry. So we just have to survive. We don't have to kill anything. Which is... What I was about to say is we don't really need to fight stuff, that means. But we have to kill some enemies, because if we let the room just spawn stuff at us for 40 seconds non-stop without killing anything, we're going to find ourselves pretty overwhelmed, I think. Alright. The dash goes over gaps. You gotta remember that. That's very useful. Boy, I sure wish I had, like, more charges on my cast, or that my cast did anything at all to some of these enemies. Okay, that's cool. We're just gonna keep playing it cool. Alright, this was not a very difficult one of these.
Worthless.
They won't always be filled with such easy, slow enemies. Alright, anything else of interest in here? Looks like no. Does green candles do anything? Nope. Listen, most of the items in the game will not give you stuff for breaking them, but they do smash really nicely. Alright, so we gotta remember both our attack and our dash deflect now. Actually, I really like deflecting dash as a way to approach ranged attackers. Hey look, I remembered to use the AoE for something.
Coin from the dead.
And that's pretty handy. So you might have noticed that we're not healing, like, at all. That's a thing. We're just not gonna heal. Very, very rarely you'll get access to healing items, but most of the time you're gonna lose a run through attrition like this. Just individual small bad plays. I don't exactly remember what the pomegranate does, and this will be Dionysus, I'm assuming? Or Bacchus? Wait, I don't remember which gods are in which pantheon. This will be a good learning experience for me. I used to know all this stuff back when I was in school. Let's go this way, though. Pomegranates of power. I remember that that's what they're called. I don't remember what they do.
The power of the gods.
Okay, they upgrade one of your boons. Sure. I like additional damage on the attack.
I feel stronger.
What is this? Oh, hell yeah. Just right after I was talking about how you never get health back. You know, Hades has a sense of humor. It wants to make fools of us all. Me mostly, though. I mean, as long as it's going to keep giving us keys, let's keep taking keys. We're going to need a lot of them. We're going to need a lot of that purple stone as well, but not until we have spent a bunch of keys, I think, so...
Stay dead.
So it looks like we can use our dash to trigger the falling pillars. It's like a pretty good way of doing it. I'm trying to be very, very careful about my footing. You know, attention is a limited resource, and it'd be very easy to spend too much time looking at the enemies and focusing on what I'm trying to say. And I'm certain that we will we will see some deaths that come from that. Right now, I'm keeping my head about me, I guess, most of the time. Yeah, I see that area attack. It does okay damage, and over a pretty large area, but it sticks you in place for quite a while. Like, I'm going to continue holding the run button the entire time. That's how long you're stuck in place. So, the Sword Strike also has a pretty huge area, and it doesn't trap you, so it's hard for me to imagine why you would want to use that special very much. Maybe if you got some cool boon upgrades for it. Oh hey, the shop.
Beyond the present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying dangers far beyond the Underworld Prince's reckoning.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
And I can reckon quite a bit.
Yeah, you said it, man.
Well, good to see you, Kieran, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that? You got some sort of wares for sale? Then I'll just have a look around.
Seems like Zagreus is used to carrying the conversation when dealing with Karen. That pot behind him is a different color. Is there something... Oops. Well, okay. I don't think I got anything out of that. Yeah, sometimes they're just different colors, I guess. Like I said, if you see gold ones, those have gold. Those actually have currency inside of them. So we have 272 gold. That's enough to buy maximum health increase, or we could get a hammer, and then also a quick heal. I think that's what we're going to do. The hammer upgrades your weapon or something. I remember the hammers being really good.
Cheers, mate.
Special hits twice, but does not knock foes away. Okay, that's interesting. Your attack is replaced with a big chop that deals 80 base damage. My concern with that is that it might stick us in place, right? This might be a big slow attack. Let's maybe just take plus 300% damage to armor. That seems extremely useful.
There, that's it. 5-second rule. That was 5 seconds, right?
I mean, I don't think you even have to worry about the 5-second rule if it's floating. Germs can't float, everybody knows that.
Well, this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus. Not one step further.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
You know exactly why I'm here. Now shut your mouth and come die like a man.
Fair enough. Okay, so this is the first actual boss. I definitely beat Megara a few times back when I was playing this right at launch, but we'll see if I remember how to fight her. Not going super great so far. You can see on her health bar when I shoot her with our cast, she holds on to the ammo for quite some time. We don't actually have to kill her to get it back, but she holds it for a while. Ah. It dashed through her, but not out of the area of that. Okay, this is bad. Let's try to get ourselves... Unfortunately, this is not one of those games where you can expect the enemies to, like, drop any health. I actually got caught by the trap. Like I said, it was gonna happen. Okay. Oh, they do drop money, at least. It'd be great if we managed to survive this somehow. That seems bad. I don't know. Okay. It didn't actually precede anything. I think I both reflected that attack and still got hit by it. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Not a good time to be in the corner. Where even is she? Oh, there she is. She's a lot smaller than the other enemies. Blends in well. Okay. Well, there's my extra life. So I think when she does that spin, she's not actually Oh, jeez. Well, this seems bad. Okay. Let's just take some cover for a second here. Catch our breath. I am almost dead again. We're getting close, though. Oh, right. I can deflect stuff. There we go. That's how you deal with that. Oh, I hate this. I made a bad move there. It's a small tactical error. And unfortunately, I've destroyed a lot of the cover at this point. Okay, that is not a foolproof strategy. I don't attack fast enough to get all of them. Oh! How much health do I have left? Sub 10?
The underworld's power.
Jesus. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll make it quite far into the second area then.
I'm hurt. Can't heal myself, but I can fight.
I mean, listen, I'm overjoyed with this result for the first run. I did not think it was going to be anywhere near this good. So this is one of those gold pots I was talking about. We actually made a considerable amount of money during that. Get a little bit of health back. Ooh, do we want to buy shop? Or a move speed increase for a limited number of encounters. I'm pretty sure I said, do I want to buy shop? Do I want to shop food? Do I want... buy the food.
Useful.
Alright, maybe we're actually going to be okay. This here is the keepsakes thing. We don't have any of these yet. If we find some ambrosia, we can start earning them. That'll come in time. We'll get there.
Let's go up.
Alright, this right here is as far as I've ever been. I never even got to the second boss during my previous play. Asphodel's hard, man. Assuming they haven't rebalanced it.
The once verdant plains of Asphodel are now engulfed in scintillating flame, having been flooded by the river Phlegethon, whose hideously superheated contents could bring death swiftly even to those resistant to most heat.
Man, that guy is really enjoying his job.
I'm only flame resistant, not flame proof.
Right, don't walk in the fire. Got it. Okay, so there's a chest here. Alright, that's pretty obviously a bad thing. But those guys have a lot of health. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I didn't get enough boons or something. Should my damage be this low? Also, I'm assuming we can't open this until we're done with the room. I'm going to try to get him to drop near the explosives. That didn't really do that much damage either. Okay, well. This is a nice gentle introduction to this enemy at least. And also to the fact that sometimes the lava's just going to shoot at you. Ow. Well, in my defense, I did hit dash. I just hit it after the explosion happened. So actually, we did learn something valuable, though. You can't dash while in hit stun. You can't use dash to cancel the hit stun. And that was a pretty good deflection there.
Gods grant me strength.
I mean, the increase from this is starting to get pretty small, but I still attack enemies way more than I dash through them. So hold on a second. There was an altar or a chest over here. A trove trial. You know what? I'm not going to pay a key for money right now. That's probably something we'll get into later. Right now, keys are too precious. When we take the Centaur Heart, it gives us 25 max health and 25 current health, so this probably gives me a better chance of making it deeper in here.
Bloodless.
Okay, just normal skeletons, a little bit more mobile than some of the enemies we've been fighting so far. Man, I can't wait until we get to some of the fancier weapons. The sword's fine, but it's a little bit simple to use. Right, I dashed and then did my AoE instead of doing my AoE and then dashing away from the skeleton punching me afterward, which is what I was trying for there. Man, yeah, the area it hits is really small. It just seems like a bad attack. Again, it might be a thing where you want some boons for it, and then it gets really good. Wow, this guy's really fill the room with garbage. Yeah, when we step in the smoke, it actually does... It both dims the screen and I think actually reduces the distance that we can see enemies at, so we have to be careful of that as well. As if there weren't enough problems. Alright, did we miss anything loot-wise? Alright, there's a key that way, or a shop. And we do have kind of a lot of money, but let's try to earn ourselves another key before we die.
Slam dancers.
Really? These enemies are called slam dancers? Or maybe that's just a royal insult? Those guys up on Mount Olympus always calling the commoners slam dancers. Trying not to actually stand in the lava. I should probably go get my bullet. Okay, so sometimes they just blow up directly on top of themselves. I guess I can see why it doesn't seem to affect them very much. Also, they are completely immune to my knockback, which is a little bit annoying. Ow. I keep getting hit by that. The final little parting shot maneuver there. It seems like the the cast has quite a bit of homing on it. Okay. Do not be so afraid of the bomb that you dash into the lava. That's not going to make things better. Ooh, mini-boss for a buff from, I'm assuming, Poseidon or 25 more health. The thing is, if we focus entirely on gathering resources, we're going to end up too weak to continue forward. I'm already a little worried about how bad our damage is. Let's go this way. We might not be able to handle this mini-boss, but I'm afraid the other way is just a slow death.
Right along.
Oh, alright. Let's maybe get rid of these things. I missed it. They might be useful for... Oh wow, that does a ton of damage to enemies. Ow, what the hell did that guy do? Looks like we maybe don't want to spend a lot of time adjacent to the crystals. Damn it. Someday I will learn to dash away from those guys when I kill them. Come on. Okay, one down. Would love to get my cast back. There we go. I will say that the massive armor damage buff is really nice. So that we stripped the armor off this skeleton, like, accidentally. Alright, are we good? No? Of course not. Okay, I see. The crystals are giving shields to the other enemies. And of course, also there's fire shooting out of the lava. And we wouldn't want to make it too easy now. Look at this, I'm learning. We dash away immediately. Aha! Is it over? We good?
Crashing waves.
Cool. 19 health.
It's Uncle number 2. It's got to be. Then, in the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Ahoy there, little Hades. You recognize your uncle, do you not? We've a lot of catching up to do, but first things first. You get yourself out of that dour underworld. As for me, I'll see if I can stir things up a bit to cover your advance.
He's not going to do anything. Okay, so we're only allowed to have one boon affecting each of our basic attacks. I guess it's like this is attack, this is the AoE special, this is the cast. Dash damages foes in an area and knocks them away. I mean, our current dash thing is fine. Your cast damages foes in an area and knocks them away. That actually sounds pretty good, and it's a fairly significant damage increase. And this, I think, this would probably be pretty good if you got it early in a run. We're going to die fairly soon.
Not a big one. The power of the seas should be of help.
I mean, I've been saying that for, at this point, probably a dozen or so rooms. Maybe I'm underestimating my own ability. Oh, Jesus. That, that caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, I figured they were going to attack me, but it happened so fast. Oh, I should probably try out my new cast. Hey, you. Okay, we didn't actually get to see what it did, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer that our, the third hit of our normal sword attack pushes us forward so much, because it makes me really nervous to use it near the edges.
Mine.
I think I managed to not take damage from that bomb because I was in the dash frames when it blew up. So hold on, can we get an idea of the... Okay, that's like a pretty large radius, assuming that that whole thing actually deals damage. Dionysus or mini-boss? I mean, we're really low on health. We'll just take a buff. I'll take an easy fight for a lower tier buff. It might not even end up being lower tier, right? We might get lucky. I was trying to just bat those away, but they kept landing during the time between my strikes. Well, that's unfortunate. That was pretty good, though, for a first attempt.
I'm home.
Stuff just washes right out of your hair, huh?
Yes, carry on, everyone. Don't mind me.
Welcome to the House of Hades, where... Wait, I know you. Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad, though. Pretty much everybody dies sometime.
Some of us more than others.
So they're not going to lay a ton of exposition on you. I mean, it's pretty clear what's happening right away, right?
Have you yet satisfied your foolish urges? Perhaps a lashing from the Fury's whips would set you straight.
I had it out with them already, thanks.
Such nonsense. First you defy me openly, and now you lie. On my next meeting with the Furies, we'll have a word about all this. You rest assured.
Wish I could be there to see your face.
I get where he's coming from, though. I also kind of can't believe I got past the first boss.
Guess what, boy? Made it all the way to Asphodel last time. I fully understand how come you never liked it there. Now to trek on back, I guess. Take care.
Despite the Underworld Prince's optimism, his old companion Cerberus, the multi-headed hound, maintains a somewhat sulky attitude for now.
I don't know. Those faces don't exactly look sulky. Maybe the one on the left. And yes, you can pet the dog.
There's a good boy.
Well, are you gonna... Okay, you can pet a third of the dog. That seems almost crueler than not petting him at all. Although I guess the middle head doesn't seem to mind too much. So I don't know exactly what is open in the house. There were a lot of locked doors when I played this last.
The House of Hades, that dark and lavishly appointed lair of the Underworld's king, is home not just to him, but to his willful progeny.
Hey, that's me.
You know I can hear you, old man.
Okay, well that seems a little judgmental.
Good to see you, lad, despite the circumstances. Remember your training out there. The pain of death is but another obstacle.
And fear is for the weak. Take care, Achilles.
Everybody's just extremely dramatic in the afterlife. So unfortunately, we're not allowed to smash stuff up. If I press any of my buttons, we just do this goofy roll. Do these doors open yet? No.
What's the good word?
Cause of death, old age. Apparently you never forget how much your feet ache. And these are still locked up. I don't know if those can be opened, or if that's a thing that still has not gotten out of early access yet.
You have come home. Do not despair, and hold to your resolve, child. Tell me something. Has the goddess Athena thus been true to her word and her willingness to lend you her support?
She has, Nyx. I'm grateful that you put us into contact and explained to her the situation that I'm in.
It gladdens me to hear it. Seldom do Olympians consort with those born of the underworld, yet your circumstances seemed due cause for an exception. She shall make a powerful ally.
I mean, she must be powerful, otherwise how would she keep all that hair under control?
The prodigal son returns. Everyone's saying I went easy on you, Zag.
Why can nobody believe that I might be good at the game? Not even myself.
Don't worry, Meg. I eventually managed to get home the painful way after all.
Look, I have a reputation to uphold. You get past me again like that, you best go all the way.
Oh, I have bad news for
I
her.
don't think you're gonna be so lucky next we meet out there.
Alright, so that's about what a run of Hades looks like, and then we have this little,
Did you miss me?
this little area in here where we can spend our currencies and get stronger for the next one, in very familiar fashion. He has a really impressive room. I guess he's royalty, it makes sense, but...
The bedchambers of Prince Zagreus lie in a perpetual state of utter disarray, despite his lord and master of the house repeatedly insisting that he pick everything up.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad, is it?
I mean, there's a lot of garbage and stuff on the floor, but to be fair, every apartment I've ever lived in would fit in the parts of the floor that are clean, so I think he's doing alright. So if we use the mirror here, we can spend the purple stuff. The shadow power, is that what it is? So right now we can get extra backstab damage, a little bit of healing every chamber. I kind of think this is probably where we're headed. Infernal Soul gives us extra ammo for our cast, and Greater Reflex gives us... It says you can dash more times before your brief recovery time, but like as you probably saw during that room where we were on a timer, the recovery time between dashes is really, really brief. I don't know that this is super necessary. And then we can use the keys to unlock new stuff to spend our money on, like bonus attack against people who are holding my ammo, or extra lives for each run. But we're gonna save our keys for a second here. I'm gonna take some chthonic vitality. We got through a fair number of rooms. Well, we should definitely take extra ammo though. Alright, so the next one's gonna be fairly expensive. Let's do this for right now.
Done.
And then over here in the next room,
Okay.
we can use our keys to buy ourselves some fancy new weapons. We actually got a lot of keys for that first run. This is also where we will jump out to attempt to escape again. And over here we just have, you know, the cursed underworld.
First get past the wretched shades of Tartarus.
Easy.
Easier said than done, and doubtless I'll be running into Meg. The River of Flame ought to be just beyond. Find a way up to Elysium from there.
Sure.
After that... Alright, let's give it another shot.
You know, after that we'll just play it by ear. Shouldn't be a problem. Alright, what do we want to unlock here? You know what, I'll leave it up to you guys a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see us grab. We have some kind of big fancy bow and arrow, a shield, and a magic harpoon. I don't know why you would need two prongs on. It's really more of a fork, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, let me know what you all want to see in the next episode in the comments down below. And that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, for another run. There's going to be one every weekday until we beat it or I get too embarrassed about how bad I'm doing. So come back tomorrow for that, and we'll see you then.